Hi guys, it's Mr. M here, and it's our time, so we're gonna do a little bit of a craft here, or actually kind of origami cutout. We're going to make a snowflake. So it's easier if you have a square piece of paper. So if you already have some paper like origami paper, then this is very useful. You can use this instead. But if you don't, because most people have A3 paper or A4 or letter size paper at home, just any copy paper, printer paper, you can use that. I'm going to show you how to make a square from any of those paper, okay? Those paper sizes. First, you're going to need paper. I'm using a blue paper, a light blue paper instead of a white one, so it's easier for you guys to see it. So we'll just use this. You'll need paper, you'll need a pencil, you'll need scissors. And the first thing I'm going to do is to make the square, I'm going to take the corner of my paper from the top and bring it down to the side here. What I want the top side here to be lined up with the side over here. You should have a little point. As you can see my fold, I've already created a fold here. So what I'll do, I'll line it up here and I'll have a point. So I'll make a triangle in here. So you'll see this triangle line. So make sure that this is lined up. If it's lined up properly, you'll have a nice pointy bit here. Then I'm going to turn the paper over. Now there's two ways you can go ahead and cut this, but you can skip this and just cut this part out if you want to, like so. But I'm just going to be more careful with it. I'm going to flip it over and then I'm going to fold it back. So I'm going to fold it back until I see the end of the other triangle on here. So I want to line this paper up, this fold, and crease it, fold it right back to that line so you get that nice edge there. So make sure. So if I look on this side, you'll see that I don't see the other side. I see a little bit right here, but it's very little. So I might pull it up just a little bit more. Okay, and I'll crease it. Use your fingernails to crease it back and forth. When you open it up, you'll see there's a line here. Okay, so you can just take your scissors and cut that line out. Cut out that line. Follow the line that you made from the crease. And there you go. So a little bit crooked there. So let me get back in there. Cut it a little bit more carefully. There. Okay, so now you have your square paper. Okay. So you can always use this for something else, so I don't believe in just throwing this away. You can recycle it and reuse. So now we've done half the fold already one of the folds already by actually folding it to make the square. So when you do that, you're going to fold it again to make that big triangle. Now you have a long side and two short sides. You're going to fold it from this point to this point on the long line here to fold that in half, just like this. Okay. So once you fold it like this, crease it. You should have three nice points. A good point here, a point here. So it should be really pointy. It shouldn't be dull or anything. Otherwise, you need to refold it. Okay. So we have the same thing again. We have a long side and two short sides. We're going to fold it one more time. On the long line here, fold it in half. Okay. So when I fold it here like this, again, try to make sure you have nice points. Okay. All right. Okay. So now that's pretty much it. Your fold is done. Now this is important. We're going to turn the triangle where the long side is on your left side. See, my left hand makes the letter L, so this is my left side. And it's also the open side. This is my right side. Okay, so this is important that the right side stays, the closed side here is on my right side of my hand. Okay, and then the top is up here. It's that line here. So the long line here is the open side. It's also the left side. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to take my pencil and kind of draw some lines. I'm going to draw a line here. Okay, so I'm going to try to make this line a little bit over halfway. So if I did halfway is here, but I'm going to make this line and kind of maybe make a V shape all the way up to here. We'll make a V shape just like that, like a really wide V. Okay, now this means this is the part I'm going to cut away, so I'm just going to go ahead and kind of make little sketches in here where the parts I'm going to cut away. Okay, let me zoom this in just a little bit more. Okay, so you can see more clearly. Alright, so then once we've done this, this is going to be the top part of our snowflake. This is going to be the inside middle part, and this is going to be the things that are going to go outside of it, okay? So it's very important. So here what we're going to do is, I just made this to let you know you're going to cut, but you can make some designs here. So I'm going to make a design in here, maybe some simple designs. So this is still part of the top area, okay? Okay, then I'm going to connect it back to that top part, and then I'm going to shade it in. This lets me know I'm going to cut this part out. Now this is a little bit long. I don't want this long, this V shape, so I'm going to make some pointy bits over here. So this is going to be a pointy bit. Then I'm going to go back over here, make an interesting shape like this. And I'm going to shade this part in. Remember, every part that I shade in is a part that I'm going to cut. Now this top part is finished. This top part is done. I've shaded in. This is all the cuts I want to make. Okay. If I want to be fancy, I can add maybe one more cut here. But remember, the more cuts you make, the more complicated it is for you to cut it. The more little angles or shapes in there, it gets harder to cut. So now I'm going to work on the right side. Remember, the right side is the closed side. So I'm going to make some basic shapes here, like this triangle that goes here. But remember, this part's going to be cut off. This part is not. Now, the next thing is, if you make another design here, you got to make sure that the design does not touch the other shape. So keep it away from it. So here, let's say I'm going to make a half heart. I'm going to make a heart. So I'm going to make a heart here. It does not touch this one. And I shade it in because I'm going to, and make sure it doesn't touch the top line too. If you touch the top part, it's going to cut that part off, okay? So now I can bring it into the middle if I want to. So if I want to bring it into the middle, I can. I'm going to make another shape. Let's see, I'm just going to make maybe a rectangle here to go inside like this. I'm bringing it over here, but I'm not going to the left side, because if I bring it all the way to this long side, the left side, it's just going to cut the whole bottom part off. So you can bring it to the middle if you want. I'm going to make one more shape here, maybe kind of a circle, a half circle here. And you notice none of the shapes are touching each other, okay? And so I'm just going to leave this like this. Okay, I'm finished with my right side. I'm okay with that. Now we're going to move to the left side. So obviously this part's going to be cut. So I can add something here if I want. I can make a little triangle here to cut that out. Now I'm going to add another shape here. Let's see if I wanted to make something a little bit different, like maybe a W shape. I can do something this, but remember, don't make it too hard for yourself. This looks like a V, but when I open it up, because it's going to make another side, it's going to turn into a W. Okay. So there's one shape there. I'm going to make another triangle shape here. Okay. Now, if I cut the bottom here, this is going to be the center of the snowflake. I can do that if I want to, but remember, make sure it doesn't touch any of the other pieces. So maybe I'll do a triangle here too, like a diamond shape down here. Okay. Okay. So now I've got all my parts that I need. Remember, left side is the closed side, so now I'm going to start to cut it out. So there's several ways to cut it. I've made all these fancy lines, so I'm going to do something, just a simple cut. Simple cut is a quick cut. Okay, and that means just to cut it really fast, a rough cut. I'll take those parts away, don't need that. That's just because I have so many little angles here. So what I'm going to do, once you cut it this way, it's easier for you to control your paper, turn it around. Okay, cut like that. Then I can go ahead and make another cut like this, just to get that part away. Okay, you might need to pull it out a little bit. Okay, so I'll cut this here. Okay, be careful how you cut. Also, be careful, don't cut your own finger. So if they're a little bit sticky or stuck, you can just cut them out. So I'm going to cut this again. I'm going to take my scissors out. I'm not going to, I don't want to bend my hand all the way around, so I'll take my scissors out and I'll cut over here. Now, I'll cut down. So I only had to turn it one time instead of 2 times. I might pull it out. There's a little bit here. I'll cut that part out too. Good. Now this part's a little bit interesting here. So I'm going to cut this part out. Follow your shaded area and watch how you cut it. So I'll cut there, take my scissors out and cut from this side. Okay, I'll pull that out. Okay, it's a little bit sticky. There you go. All right, now I'm going to cut the side. So this part is, I made this a little bit difficult for myself because it's such a small piece. So I need to make sure I hold it and be very careful with your hand. I'll cut one direction, turn it to the other side, cut the other direction. Because it's such a small area here, I might actually break the paper if I try to twist my scissors around it. Okay, so I still need to cut some more until it falls out. There it goes. Okay, might need a little bit of help. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to cut the right side. So I'm going to cut this out like this. And like this. Okay. Now this part's a little bit harder because I did a heart shape. This is a half heart, so I'm going to have to go around. I can move my scissors, or I can just move the paper around as I slowly cut. Please don't rush this. I don't want you to break your paper. Oops. I don't want you to break your paper or cut your hand, okay? So put this in here. And just, okay. So loop around. Cut that piece out. This is a little bit easier. Cut this rectangle straight line. Then the other one, cut that side too. Because this way, I can just flip this part up. The whole thing up. Flip it up, and I can cut it from here. Okay? So, cut it down. Then, oh, so it's still kind of stuck, so I need to cut a little bit more to this side. There we go, and it just falls out. This one I did that semicircle, so I'll do that again. Turning the paper, butterfingers. Okay, so I'll go around it. Okay, great. All right, I'm almost done. Here, there's that little piece I cut at the pointy bit. This little design here. So I'm just going to cut that little piece off. I'll cut one way, take my scissors out, and cut the other way. Watch your fingers. Okay, there we go. And then this one here, this triangle. Cut the other way. There it goes. My last cut is over here. My little W, I'll cut the scissors down. I'll just cut this one through like this to the other side. So I have something to work with here. Cut this way. Cut up a little bit. Okay. Take my scissors out. Cut this way. And it should just fall out. Okay. Might need some help. So that's it. I've cut out all the pieces I need. So I'm just going to clear out my little rubbish area. My little pieces of paper I don't need. So this is it here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to slowly, carefully open it. You can see the heart shape that I made, the circle, the rectangle, the diamond at the top. Slowly open it. And then you have your shape. See what you did in the middle when I made that little triangle? There's your snowflake. Okay. So obviously this is the pencil side. It would be hard to erase, so you would use the other side. Okay. There you go. So, yeah, just practice, experiment with different kind of shapes and design. and you can have some fun with it, okay? So, very cool, guys. Awesome. Good job if you were able to follow. Remember, you can always slow down the video, or you can pause the video if you get stuck. All right. Happy art time, everyone. I'll catch you later. Bye.